Hey everyone, and welcome back to another weekly wisdom. I'm excited to be back. We're here every Tuesday at 9 a.m. And I say that knowing that we missed last week. So sorry about that. We were actually at a team outing as a full team, Seen at Work. We all went on a retreat. I have proof this was what we were doing out in the snow, doing some team building activities and really starting to solidify the next year together as we help support our clients with their diversity, equity, and inclusion needs. So apologies for missing last Tuesday, but we're here 9 a.m. Tuesday mornings just for you to give you 5 to 10 minutes of a weekly wisdom. And this week, I'm excited to share with you 3 mistakes companies often make when celebrating Black History Month. Amazing. It is Black History Month. February 1st. This was the first January that felt like it flew by, but we're excited about it because there's always so much activity around Black History Month and a lot of organizations and leaders looking for best practices around how to make sure that they're celebrating Black History Month most effectively. Now, a few years ago, I posted a video on our Seen at Work YouTube channel, and I encourage you to go check out that YouTube video if you haven't. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you here so that you can see. I've turned off the sound, but it's called 10 Mistakes Companies Make When Celebrating Black History Month. It includes a number of mistakes that I think are worth you checking out. And you can see that some of them have been kind of set up for you so that you can go ahead and take them and run with them. I hope that you take a look at that video, but I thought I'd give you a preview of that video here today during the weekly wisdom by pulling 3 of those mistakes out and explaining them to you a little bit more. So we're going to go through each of those mistakes today, and I think this is going to be a quick one, but if you do want more details, you can either check out that YouTube video or there's also a blog post on the Seen at Work blog. I'll go ahead and pull that up so that you can see that as well. We have a bunch of resources for you on the Seen at Work blog, and we always try to make sure that we have as many opportunities for you to learn about best practices in DEI. So go ahead and check out the Seen at Work blog. I have it here pulled up for you just to show it to you as well. Let's go ahead and show this here. 10 mistakes companies make when celebrating Black History Month. It outlines each of the mistakes in the video. So again, I'm going to go through 3 today, but I wanted to make sure that you knew that this was here for you just in case you wanted to read through everything. All right, let's jump right in. Here's the first mistake we often see companies make when celebrating Black History Month. We often see people assuming that Black History Month is just for their Black employees. Now, of course, you'll want to make sure that your Black employees are involved in your Black History Month festivities for your company. But sometimes when we think that Black History Month is just for our Black employees, we see companies give a lot of the responsibility over to Black employees or their employee resource group, and we see the burden really falling on them to take care of everything. Now, we'll want to make sure that all of our DEI initiatives are company-wide initiatives, that everyone is involved, and not just in the planning of it, but also that there are small elements where other people can also participate so that they can learn and grow and build deeper community with the community being spotlighted. So there's an opportunity to both, of course, definitely make sure your Black employees are involved, make sure that they are centered, make sure that everything is really, really geared toward them and for them. However, also making sure that other members of your company across your workforce are involved is key to making sure that everyone feels like this is something that we all prioritize. So that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is celebrating Black History Month publicly, but not internally. Here's the deal. Sometimes we see performative mentions of not just Black History Month, but other things related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We'll see companies posting on Instagram, on LinkedIn. We'll see companies posting in different forums about how much they celebrate and care for these milestone events, whether it be Black History Month or an important holiday or one of the other months that are related to a particular identity, that celebrate a particular identity. This can backfire, though, for a company that does this publicly and not internally. We know that performative advocacy is something that can create real feelings of resentment. It can impact the way that your employees feel or don't feel like they belong within an organization. It can make them feel like there's some measure of hypocrisy or duplicity in the way that a company is being run or led. And all of those things can impact your retention and the amount of diversity you're able to hold on to. Maybe you'll be able to bring in some retention by, so maybe you'll be able to bring in some employees rather by putting the information out there and making it sound like you're publicly really interested in diversity, equity, and inclusion, but that won't last very long. Once people get in the door and realize that it's not a place that's truly interested in supporting its employees, particularly its Black employees in this particular example, then it will not work out for you. So you'll want to make sure that you are backing up any of your public statements with internal action. Here's mistake number 3. Celebrating internally, but not publicly. So this is literally the exact opposite of the last mistake, but it bears mentioning because what we know is that when you can celebrate publicly and share all of the things you're doing internally, you get a chance to elevate the voices of the Black individuals who are working within your company and engaged in this work. You get the chance to spotlight their work and truly live within the spirit of Black History Month. You also have the opportunity as a company to set an example for other companies, help them understand how they can further their diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, and specifically their Black History Month initiatives, or specifically how they're supporting their Black employee resource groups or their Black employees broadly. You also have the opportunity to attract more diverse talent. What we were talking about before, this idea that getting that word out publicly and making sure that you're reflecting some of the internal efforts that you've put all this time and energy into, that will help you bring in more talent. And of course, more diverse talent means more benefits across the board. We know that DEI is generally beneficial for all of your employees. And we also know that diversity is beneficial to your bottom line. So there you go. In less than 10 minutes, we have our weekly wisdom, and I hope you enjoyed it. Our first mistake was assuming Black History Month is just for your Black employees. It is not. You want to make sure that everyone is involved. Celebrating Black History Month publicly, but not internally. Make sure that you're doing the work internally. That's what really matters. And then, of course, when you're doing that work internally, you'll want to make sure that you're also publicizing that work so that others can learn from you and so that you're elevating the voices within your organization. Like I said, we have some wonderful resources, including the 10 Mistakes Companies Make When Celebrating Black History Month blog, which you can find on our C Network website, cnetwork.com. We also have the 10 Mistakes Companies Make When Celebrating Black History Month YouTube video on our YouTube channel. I'll make sure that these are linked in the recording of this live stream for you. And I also will want to make sure that you know that we have an upcoming event. So we are also going to be talking not about the mistakes, but about what best practices you can engage in to celebrate the Black community in February and beyond. So we have an upcoming live event, live Q&A, and we have these every month. So if you're unfamiliar, you can find these live Q&A opportunities on our LinkedIn profile, and we have our next one coming up next Tuesday, so we hope to see you there. All right. As always, it's a pleasure sending along any DEI updates that we might have and best practices. We'll continue to do so through these weekly wisdoms on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. We also, like I said, have these Q&A sessions every month, and they're posted on our LinkedIn. And you can also learn more about working with us at cnetwork.com/consultation or about our team generally at cnetwork.com. Thank you, everyone. Talk soon.